continue.
And we're rolling. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cosplay Podcast, episode number 7. And yeah, we've been off the air for a while because con season. You know, who'd have thought that cosplayers, they actually do cosplay stuff, and making costumes, going to conventions. Yeah, that eats up a lot of time. So today's a bit of a funny episode because a lot of stuff has happened that needs a lot of talk about. And let's get the introductions out of the way. Normally I take forever with them, but returning guest, we got Mr. Dave Collier. How you doing, brother?
Hello, I'm doing good. I'm joining you live from the 1970s, as you can see from the lovely wallpaper we've got in the sitting room currently. But I'm wearing my new T-shirt, which I'm going to be wearing for Dragon Con, which I really, really, really like.
Yeah.
Not going to wear it for every day for Dragon Con, because that would be smelly in the Atlanta heat.
I see your point. And joining us from the future, we got Christian Clark. How are you doing? From New Zealand.
Good, but very tired. I've been up all night.
Like I said, you're coming from the future, so so it's like tomorrow for us. Whereas this is like a Friday evening, but it's like Saturday morning for you.
Saturday morning, yep. I'm 11 hours ahead of you guys, so I'm absolutely shattered. I've been up all night.
Sweet. And
doing cosplay stuff.
Well, who'd have thought it? That's why it's called a Cosplay Podcast. And
And he's joining us live from Hobbiton.
4 miles away.
4 miles away, yeah.
And he has not just one. He actually explained to me, why do you need 2 quads?
Because one was mine, one was my brother's, but I now own both, so.
Sweet.
I think we've got a reason to come and visit. We'll just come along and gate crash, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was just saying, if I ever make it out to New Zealand, I'm definitely going to cosplay as the Kiwi from New Zealand Story. It would be a giant yellow Kiwi with a bow and arrow, and hopefully I'll find a giant walrus.
So that is probably the most obscure reference we have ever had.
Yeah,
or you've ever had on this show.
Yeah, excuse us, we're crusty old men. Well, Dave more crusty than me, but actually, let's get this show on the road.
Thank you, brother. So kind.
Let's get this show on the road. Dave, you've been dying to talk about this for a month. So, Hyper Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were entrusted with the sacred duty of hosting the World Cosplay Summit qualifier. So, what happened, bruv?
Okay, no. Let's go back a little bit here. Right, in 2014, Hyper Japan, they did their event in the Olympia, I think, if I remember rightly, either Earl's Court, and they did in the summer one they did the ECG qualifier, and that was an absolutely brilliant event. The whole event was awesome. 2014 was absolutely brilliant. Cosplay standards were out of this world. It was one of the best competitions I ever saw. I wasn't part of the competition, but I was cheering everybody on. I did the open
such
masquerade.
a nice man.
Yeah, I did the open masquerade and did quite well on that as well, which is nice. And yeah, it was a genuinely good event. Really good sushi. Had a great time. Winter one I didn't go to, but my spies were there.
Your little birds.
Yes, my little birds were there because it was a WCS qualifier, which was a bit of a disappointment, really. Only 4 teams entered, or maybe 5 teams entered, and there was really only 2, shall we say, contender teams, and neither of them were the winners. It was nice costumes, but that's all you could really say. They were not. They were the kind of ones which, would be, yeah, those are nice if you were judging a normal contest, but they wouldn't actually really be the ones which you would be looking to be the winners. But just because there were so few teams entered, they got the tickets out to Japan to represent the UK in the World Championships, which, incidentally, the actual finals happened a few weeks ago. Spoiler alert, Mexico won and did brilliantly, so congratulations to them. Actually, it's one of the best stage acts I've ever seen.
Oh, but, what? Oh, the thing's already happened? Damn, I didn't see this. I'm gonna catch the VOD.
Yeah, I will chuck you all the links.
Oh,
but
sweet.
Really, check out Mexico's act. It's something really, really special. But anyway, so this year, with quite a lot of happiness, I thought, okay, we'll go to Hyper Japan. It was at the O2, at the Dome in Greenwich.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be the Millennium Dome. And I'm really sorry to say this, it didn't really work. The Dome as a venue, they're all sort of split up between different areas.
Uh-huh.
Didn't really work. It was, for what there wasn't very much there. Huge crowds, but not a lot of interest.
Dave, hold up, because I've never been to the Dome, which is kind of bizarre since I don't live that far away, and I can't remember why I couldn't be asked to attend the original Millennium celebrations or whatever. But how big is the actual venue? Because I hear, there's like a certain organisation that could do with like a London venue.
Because it was crap.
Ah. That bad, huh?
Okay, no. Okay, the thing about the Dome is, as an actual area, it actually is quite a large area. It's just they've got like shops and restaurants and all sorts of stuff through it. They've got like a roadway through it, and in the centre they've got a giant cinema and that kind of stuff. And there's a theatre, sort of music concert hall in the middle. So yeah, the actual area under the Dome is quite large, but the actual areas you can put on a con are not that big, and there was all scattered through different areas in it, which again didn't really work. You're having to sort of shuffle between a lot of areas. There was not, so for example, the food thing really, massive queues for nothing very special, to be perfectly honest, and overpriced. But the biggest letdown was the cosplay. They got new cosplay organisers in. I'm not too sure why, but yeah, unfortunately, they really. For example, they didn't even have a cosplay competition. So they had this. They had this sort of very, very small stage with a very small audience area and a very crappy sound system, and they just paraded the cosplayers one after another on the stage. And you're thinking, okay, that's fair enough, but it's not that hard. They had guests there. They had people like Tash there who could judge it. Have a little competition, rustle up a bag of prizes. Let's have a little bit of a game with this. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's have a bit of tension, because just having people trading on costumes is not terribly exciting. It's nice to have this sort of competitive edge there, I thought. And of course, the people there did no control of their music or anything like that, and they just sort of played in a loop. So you had all these sort of scary monsters. All these scary monsters coming onto J-pop and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they do that. They do that a lot. You remember Christian at Cardiff? That was.
Oh God.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the cosplay stuff, because I knew one of my friends there. Shall we say her name?
Yeah, you can disclose it.
Okay, because we met her actually in London at Forbidden Planet, and I won't say her name, but
just say all right, whatever's comfortable.
Yeah, but basically, because she's one of the performers there, she's a singer, a wonderful singer, and so we saw her doing her little performance bit, and you could see her just struggling so hard to deal with a really, really poor sound system. Yeah, to me,
this sounds familiar.
Just distorting all over the shop. And I really wanted to wave and say hi to her and everything, but she was having to concentrate so hard just to make this thing work. So all in all, very, very disappointing event. But my personal biggest disappointment is WCS is something which I'm very interested in. I'd like to know what would be happening. So I asked them at the cosplay desk, asked the main organiser, what's happening with WCS in 2015? Are you doing the qualifier? Because we haven't heard anything yet. And basically they refused to answer that question.
Okay, that's not a good look, considering, as you said, the year before it was one of the best shows, you say.
Well, the ECG one was one of the best shows. I didn't see the WCS qualifier, but I can understand why it's why it might be a problem getting so many people to do it, and wondering yourself, look back at the show with Ben and Lex and Co and Jake. But basically, it is quite a restrictive competition, so it's got to be something from anime, manga, or Japanese computer games.
Yeah.
And it's got to be for a team of 2, and you've got to be willing, if you win, to go out to Japan for 2 weeks, which is obviously quite a big deal. So I can understand you really need to concentrate on doing it, about whether you want to go out there and do this. But I felt I'd like to give it a shot, give it a go with a friend of mine, and we'd be really quite useful to know if this was going to be going ahead or not, because I've got to book my holiday time a long way in advance. We've actually got some quite interesting stuff happening around the time of the Christmas market in terms of my day job, so I'd really like to be able to let my bosses know ahead of time, okay, this is a day I would really like to be in the UK, can I do this, and therefore start doing this job at a later date. And so long as you give them warning, and my bosses are very, very good at this sort of thing, yeah, they can work around you, but you can't just do it at the last minute, if you know what I mean. So the more warning I could have given them, the better it would have been, but they refused to answer the question.
Yeah, that is definitely not good. Look.
I should say they politely refused to answer the question, but that doesn't help me much.
Dave, you are way too diplomatic. And just changing the subject slightly. Yeah, Christian, you're cold.
Yeah, it's like 7 degrees over at the moment.
Like I said, yes, for the benefit of those that don't know, the southern hemisphere, everything is backwards. So it is winter where he is, whereas we're in summer and I'm kind of bloody hot and I can't turn the aircon on because it will mess up the sound.
It's summer. It certainly bloody doesn't feel like summer some of the days we've had.
Well, it's a lovely 26 degrees where it was earlier in London, but just finishing up, Dave. So
Hyper Japan, unfortunately, a really big disappointment, and that also has ramifications for what we're going to be talking about later on in the show, I think.
I believe so, but I mean, so that means well, no, let's just quickly address it. So you haven't got a definitive answer. There's going to be no UK team then, or there was no UK team.
Okay. I've got absolutely no definitive answer from anybody. What I have got is various rumours which are flying around from various sources that maybe Hyper Japan will take it, maybe they won't, maybe MCM will take it, maybe they won't, maybe Showmasters will take it, maybe they won't.
Yeah, we're getting...
or maybe there won't be one at all.
Christian, contain yourself. We'll get to that subject.
Very unhelpful.
Christian, contain yourself. We're getting there in a minute.
Really banned from MCM today, so...
Yeah, all of which is very, very unhelpful to me because, as I said, I've got my job last time I was on the show I was in Croatia because of my job. You know, my job involves a lot of travelling. I'm very lucky to have the job, but I have to plan ahead if I want to do a competition. So it's not like, shall we say, LSCC, which we knew from as soon as it came out. I was able to book my holiday for February because I know I want to do that competition. Yeah, and I like doing cosplay.
LSCC, all right. Let's do it. Let's do an unpaid infomercial. Yeah, LSCC, the con where you can get hotel rooms. Check this out. I booked a hotel. I mean, okay, they're probably much have caught on now. For 2 people for 2 nights, £88.
Yeah, they didn't catch that one in time. I bet you it's a lot more now. But a load of us did very nicely out of that. And look, we know it's LSCC is, in my opinion, the best con in the UK, and it's the best cosplay competition in the UK.
I definitely say, I don't know about best con, but I could definitely say cosplay competition for sure.
Well, shall I let them in on the secret that you might be doing it this time?
I'm thinking about doing it. It's just that I worry, it's like that old show. I'll clash you to head. That's kind of what I feel like all those competitors are doing.
What?
Now, do you remember that old comedy show? Yeah, The Kids in the Hall. It was like a Canadian one.
Yeah. Squash your head. But I don't recall anybody squashing my head as part of a competition. Although Stephen dressed as Batman at the Euro Cosplay Qualified came close.
Close enough. Close enough.
That's another story.
Close enough, but like I said, I'm thinking about it because again, the competition is their power levels are definitely over 9,000. It's like I've only just recently learned what interfacing was.
Yeah, I mean, yes, genuinely speaking, you're going to be up against what was it in European champions? At least one we had last year. World champions potentially, if I'm hearing things right. Certain people coming from Russia. So basically, it's going. You're up against the absolute cream of certainly European cosplay, and that's brilliant because everyone's so friendly, and you learn so much by doing it. And I know you're a very competitive guy. I'm not a very competitive guy, but
it's a hangover from my time during the fighting game community. I really should just get out some of my paraphernalia next time. It's like I don't know. It's been drilled onto me. If you're going to do competitive stuff, you either play to win or you don't bother. It's again, so that's why. It's a little bit of a hangover. But
whoa, we lost Christian. Hopefully, he'll be back in a minute. But
back online and much editing later. Yeah, we're back, and we were just finishing up about Hyper Japan, how we're disappointed, and I guess we should just move on straight to our second topic, which is the disappearance of the second... Yeah, I know this is a ridiculously frivolous topic, and we're probably just going to skim through it in about 5 minutes, but the second level of the Fox, they've done it! They've Starbucked it up! God damn it! God damn it, all the hell! And yeah, that was a reference to Planet of the Apes, but anyway.
Fox! That's my Captain Kirk impression.
No, I think we should. I don't know. This is not really a joke. This is a proper actual fact. Not a lot of people. They don't really go to MCM Expo. They go to the Fox. Christian, can you attest to this?
We all go to the Fox.
Everyone goes
during
to
the day.
the Fox.
During the day, Fox. Night, Fox. After that, go to Novotel, where it's open.
Oh yeah, after it closes.
Yeah.
But yeah, night before, you go to the Fox. Yeah, Friday night at con, you go to the Fox. Saturday at con, you go to the Fox. Sunday, you're in the Fox as a zombie, normally.
Monday morning, most people are still in the Fox.
Yeah,
I
pretty
can't say
much.
I've ever done that, but still. So
I've seen people there on Monday morning at the Fox. Christ.
bloody hell. But
You're clearly more hardcore than we are.
no, but clearly,
Not me.
No, but clearly,
I've seen people that I know.
no, but clearly losing that 40%. Well, I don't know, 40% is an exaggeration because the upper stairs area, they've lost about, I'd say 35 because essentially they put a little barrier. The mezzanine, if that's how you say it, has survived. But yep, rest in peace the second level. So now it's going to be slightly more crowded than before, and I can definitely.
Well, honestly speaking, the bigger problem with this is the upstairs bar was a bit you could get served in with a reasonable time period.
Fuck, you're right.
Anybody who was queuing at the downstairs bit was doing it wrong. You go to the upstairs bit, and they'll give you a tray even, and you just buy enough drinks for the next, half hour for everybody.
Upstairs is always where you got served because it was the easiest place. There's no one up there.
Well, much less up there, and yeah, the queues were shorter, and they generally had more staff up there.
Oh man, the Fox. Again, I'm going to get this rant out of the way. The other thing I liked about the Fox was it was like a force field because obviously you had to be over 18 to enter, so we were like protected from the anime weaves, which is not a very nice label. And again, I'm only doing it on this show since this show is slightly a hit piece, but I mean we're going to do it once in a while. So we were protected from the from the anime masses that were doing their cosplay fight clubs. Oh my god. By the wonderful bouncers that would not let anyone under 18 enter. But now, because we've lost that tiny extra bit of space, we're going to be exposed to them now.
I mean, I've got to say, to be perfectly honest, the bit which really mattered about the Fox, and it really mattered to me, is the tables outside. It's just the queuing, which is going to annoy me.
Yeah, you can attest to this. Apparently, some people are exaggerating, saying it's going to be like the Marriott Hotel where the lines are going down the road or something like that.
It probably will be.
I hope not, but we'll have to find out. But
whoa, Dave, was that true then? Because I'm thinking, okay, no matter how good a bar is, surely people would just logically go to another bar.
Well, don't worry, there will be no shortages of opportunity for you to drink at DragonCon if that was the question you're asking. I mean, I don't actually drink very often when I'm in costume because Lord knows it's hard enough to stay hydrated when you're in all that crap. Fun enough, stage grease makeup and having your skin breathe is not really on the agenda. Especially as I slapped on like a ton.
And speaking of the anime masses, yes, going on to the third topic. I believe, somebody organised an anime league meet at Harrods. Now, before let's just be a little objective about this first. Though it is kind of hard. I mean, when I first heard about it, I just thought I didn't actually pay much attention to it because I thought, oh, okay, somebody's doing some sort of corporate thing, and then I kept hearing again, oh, what? Wait, what? No, they are properly going ahead with a proper meet, and upon because I got my sources emailed me and said, no, it was a legit meet. It wasn't just a spontaneous thing because apparently the person that organised it actually worked in the toy section and was gonna go ahead and do this. But before I go on, what did you think about that, Christian?
I thought it was a complete joke. Like, you can't sell a meat in a multi-million-pound
Yes,
store.
You're multi-million. Yes, we gotta reiterate for the benefits of those that. Yeah.
And the fact that is, the cosplay community has a lot of scrutinisation anyway after the Daily Mail incident. So, and the people that read the Daily Mail are the kind of people that shop at Harrods. So,
No. I don't think so.
Dude, I don't think so.
well,
Yeah. I don't think British people at all shop at Harrods, to be honest.
you know what I mean. That ballpark, we get enough.
Yeah, the 1% shop at Harrods. They don't read the Daily Mail.
I'm pretty sure.
But
Well,
they're in that
yeah,
ballpark where they're the upper class of British people would shop at Harrods, and then it's like, well, if they're gonna intervene with, well, meet these weebos, these weebos would destroy our reputation as a community.
I wish we had a better term. It is just they
are weebos.
They are the
14. And more than likely, Spoon will be there.
Oh,
Now,
okay. You
now,
said it.
now,
Now.
now.
Oh wait, you said it. You're the guest. Okay.
I'm going to stay out of that one.
It's not like he follows you anyway, Danny.
But
True, but still.
Seriously, with this one, yeah, just because we haven't really said what's happened, the event got cancelled at the last minute, and there's lots of shouting around about, what happened. What actually genuinely happened, I think, not that much proof, is just the standard of actually the lack of professionalism we see in a lot of the cosplay community, unfortunately.
Yes.
What had happened is somebody very, very junior in Harrods, yes, just sort of a summer assistant at the toy thing, had this idea to do it, chatted to some of their buddies at Anime League, and they set up the event, and they thought, oh, we've got Harrods approval. Actually, it doesn't work that way. To me, just because you've got an email address with .harrods. At harrods.co.uk or whatever, doesn't actually mean you've got any power at all. And I've seen this in other events as well, and other things as well. You've got to talk to somebody with the actual power to decide these things. You've got to get this stuff down on paper, because these are businesses. They work in a certain way. And so, as I said, if somebody comes to you with an idea like that, absolutely fine. Talk to them. But you got to talk to their boss, and sometimes you've got to talk to their boss, and so on and so on, till you can speak to somebody who can make that decision. We actually had something sort of similar happening with the one of the Gotham cosplay groups I'm a part of, where we had somebody from Rocksteady talking to us about maybe doing stuff connected with the Arkham Knight game. And people were getting very excited, and I was like, man, let's calm down, let's talk to somebody else, because the person was very young, was clearly very, very young. So I actually went and got to talking to some of the more senior people, and actually they really weren't looking at having sort of cosplayer involvement at all directly. Yeah, they liked what we did and everything like that, but they weren't really that keen on working with us. So you've got to talk to somebody who is, senior enough to make the decision. That's what failed to happen this time, and it's just, to me at least, it's so obvious you've got to deal with these this way, because this is a company. They've got a reputation to maintain. You've got to understand what they, as, shall we say, the customer, are looking for. And, as I said, somebody very junior talked to Anime League, and 2 and 2 made 7, and loads of people had ideas and threw them around, but nobody ever took the time to talk to the person with the purse strings. And... then finally the person with the purse strings heard about it, presumably, and said, whoa, hold on a second here. Really? No. No. And everyone looks very embarrassed.
Do you know what the funny thing is?
Sorry for that rant, by the way.
Well, it's a logical argument. But do you know what the funny thing was? I was not really against it. I was just, as like everybody else, I was skeptical. I was definitely on the camp of, I'm kind of interested what would happen. What actually happened next was far more disturbing, because then there were like alleged rumours that the trolls just proper came in and they sort of phoned up Harrods and said, we're going to turn up with some guns and a possible bomb. Yeah, and that's the...
Okay. Let me say why I think that's utter bollocks. How big companies are absolutely paranoid when it comes to potential threats of violence, potential threats of terrorism. Harrods, that's even more so because they've had bomb attacks there, including one which killed 6 people. If anybody had phoned up Harrods and said that, the police would be involved straight away. The police would instantly find out who said it, and that person would be arrested. It's not, the police will take a very, very, very dim view of that kind of stuff. And go, oh no, I used an anonymous number. The police can get past that, you idiot. So no, the idea that somebody phoned up that, we would have heard about it on the news or something like that, or somebody would have been arrested. It's utter bollocks that, and the fact that post was deleted fairly quickly suggests to me it's utter bollocks. God knows where it came from, but I don't believe a word of it. I mean,
funny you should say that.
This community can be very stupid and petty sometimes, but not that stupid and petty.
Funny you should mention that. It came from the Anime League themselves.
God knows, but they deleted it pretty much straight away, didn't they?
Here we go. Anime League cosplay. in my That's Life voice. It is with deep regret that we must cancel our up-and-coming Cosplay Harrod extravaganza meet this Saturday. Why? Well, unfortunately, people phoned up Harrod's customer service, implying that a great act of violence would occur at this event, and that real firearms would be present. Comments like this are taken very seriously, so the event has been postponed until further notice. Members of the Anime League worked very hard to coordinate this unique family-friendly event for cosplayers and Pokemon fans alike. We are extremely disappointed at these ill-thought-out comments and the repercussions they may have.
As I said, if that genuinely happened, and I find it hard to believe it did, the police would be involved, no questions at all. And frankly, the police will be talking to Anime League about this as well. So I don't believe it because, as I said, firstly, because this community can be pretty stupid and petty at times, but not that stupid.
Yeah, but I'm
petty.
thinking you've said people.
They as a company, would take it very seriously. So God knows why Anime League posted that. It's just embarrassing. I don't believe it.
Well,
I don't believe it. They deleted it very quickly.
Well, no, again, I was just thinking, all right, if these would have said people that they wanted to bring it to Harrods, then, yeah.
But no, I mean this genuinely. I work for a really big company. We do not have the slightest sense of humour when it comes to threats of violence for very, very, very obvious reasons. And especially something customer-facing like that. There is no possibility that if this had actually occurred, that, that Harrods or whoever else would just cancel the event. It's just ridiculous. It would have been a full-scale security alert, and we would have heard about that.
Caused by cosplayers.
Well,
yes,
it would have been caused by cosplayers, but think of it. It sounds to me actually a bit like for example, swatting somebody, and people have been arrested and sent to jail for many, many years for arranging swatting on people, and rightly so actually, because it's a really nasty thing to do, and it's a waste of police resources which really should be used in better places. So what I mean? It's ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous all the way around, this sort of thing. But going back to the main thing, even without that whole alleged phone call, it needs more professionalism. You need to understand that the priorities of businesses are not the same as our priorities as cosplayers. Maybe they'll meet, maybe they won't. But you've got to talk to somebody who matters. And just because their email address happens to have, the name of the company in it, doesn't actually mean they've got any real power. You've got to understand this from a business point of view if you want to be working with businesses.
Okay, I think I say again. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with having cosplayers teaming up with businesses and that kind of stuff, or cosplayers teaming up with charities. In fact, there's been a lot of very, very successful things like that.
Of course.
I mean, the Forbidden Planet stuff, for example. But you've got to have an understanding, talk to somebody who's in power, find out exactly what they need from you, and then make sure you've got everything in place to deliver that. Don't just go off on the deep end saying, oh, we're organising a cosplay event because somebody very junior has had this idea and hasn't really cleared it with enough important people. Before you say anything, go up the chain of command and get exactly what they want to happen and get it in writing. It's not hard.
Again, sorry, Kristen. Yeah.
What threw me was like that they on the event. It was like 120 odd people plus, and it was like they're not going to let 120 plus people in cosplays because you know what some of our cosplays are like. They can be huge. They can be.
In all fair honesty, In all fair honesty, though, every Anime League meet, which, yeah, again, this is just my own personal experience. They might have improved since then. Have been some of the most cringiest experiences ever, and they always say there's 100 people, but the numbers were always closer to like 30 or 50.
Can I just say, I've had a good time at both Alcon and LAGC. I'm not going to either this year, but so let's not really get down on Anime League. They organise, in my opinion, some pretty good events. Both, I say, LAGC and that, and I've worked with them for Insomnia as well. So, in terms of events, I don't think they're particularly bad, but their meets, I have heard bad things about, I must admit. Not done any, just personal.
Yeah, and again, the meets I went to, I say again, some of the most cringiest experiences ever in my life. And that was even when, our esteemed colleague Jess was running them, and I'm kind of glad that she doesn't do them anymore. Because, I don't know, it's just cringe-inducing things like, right, let's force sociability on people. Let's make everyone stand around in a giant circle, walk in the middle, and introduce themselves. And it has the absolute opposite effect, because it's like, unless you're some kind of, I don't know, you fit a certain demographic, like I don't really want to say, a certain age group or whatever, then people will pay attention to you. But the minute you're not interested in you, and people, they start getting their phones out, they start talking to their other friends, and it starts becoming, you kind of thinking, this is crap. It's having the exact opposite effect of, and again, it's just forcing sociability upon everyone. It's like, hi, no one's paying attention. Oh.
You're an assassin, just go and kill them.
I was very tempted to at the end of the day of a certain meet. But yeah, those meets were, I have to be honest, they were some of the most cringe-inducing things I've ever been to.
Okay. But not done any of the meets, but just, as I said, LAGC and Alcon, I had a great time at both events. So let's not get too down on Anime League in general. I think, yeah, they do good stuff, they do not so good stuff. This is just a bit embarrassing with them, but hopefully they will learn the lesson. We'll find out, though, won't we?
Again, I just want to finish off. I was not against the idea, because in theory, it's like, all right, prove us wrong, because it's like, everyone deserves to be proven wrong, it was like, it worked out well, but of course, like everyone else, I was skeptical, because as we've illustrated, it's a there's multi-million pounds worth of gear around. I mean, let's be honest. If they said, let's organise a meet-up in Hamleys, nobody would have batted an eyelid. That would have been logical, wouldn't it?
Not really. Have you seen how bloody crowded Hamleys is on a Saturday? There's no room. There's no room even outside. I
don't know. It's got, last I remembered, it had 8 floors of stuff. And, the higher you go, the less crowded it gets, because evidently people don't really give a F about their Hornby trains.
Yeah,
sorry.
To be fair, that's not a kid's toy anymore. That's for,
the collector's
dads, really. Dads and granddad. But can I just say, my one disappointment about this, because I would just love to show up at Harrods as the Penguin, top hat and all, and see if they'd let me in. You're not letting me in? When I'm mayor, I'll burn this place down like Max Shrek's store.
Oh God, I wish you turned up to some of those meets. You would have definitely improved it by about 1,000%. But again, it might have just been my own experience, because again, I'm a crusty old kid. I don't really belong there. Again, it's the same reason why I can't do most of the anime cons now. It's just that I'm not of their world anymore.
Well, as Alcon was great fun, because I was in character the whole time as a penguin, and they had a superhero, just a cosplay character slave auction for charity. And we were buying up all the superheroes, and we were going to get them to all fight each other for our amusement. But me and a Joker were just doing it all in character and everything.
Dance for our amusement!
Yeah, things like that. And it's like, yes, we got a game called Thunderdome.
Oh,
2 heroes enter, 1 hero leaves. But yeah, we were buying them up and like we're skitting off each other the whole time. Like when I didn't have enough money to buy a certain hero, they thought they'd escaped, and then the joke would pitch in order to put on more money and things like that. It was good fun.
Actually, you remind me. I still got to go out and see Mad Max before it leaves the cinema.
Not seen that yet.
And
we might have lost Christian again. Have we?
Yes, we have. Don't worry.
Oh
no, he's back! Huzzah!
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. It's salvageable.
Dying.
At least you're back. At least it's back, and at least we got voice. And
Yeah.
right.
I managed to kick my laptop.
Okay, that might have not been the most sensible idea, but it doesn't matter. We've still got you in glorious audio, and I guess. Oh wow!
I've got picture as well, and it is very glorious. Can I say?
Sweet. By the way, time for the main meat. The main meat everyone's been talking about, and winter.
Do you need a cup of tea, Danny?
I don't know how to approach this because again, the funny thing is we were meant to originally do an event show, and I was actually going to defend, which seems inconceivable because obviously so much has been thrown at Showmars. I did not actually think the last London Film Comic Con was actually that bad because in comparison to last year, I thought last year was a lot worse.
Stan Lee Day was chaos.
But I did not think it was that bad. I mean, yes, it was overcrowded, but in the grand scheme of con going, especially like MCM, it was no worse for wear than MCM. Although you could cynically argue MCM at least is on one level, whereas there were definite issues with the stairs, putting photo shoot areas right next to entrances and stuff like that. But that's not actually the topic about what happened last time.
Can I just bounce in with that one? That is MCM London. MCM Manchester was absolutely fine. I don't think we spent that long queuing at all in it, did we?
No. Yeah, let's put it this way: every MCM event out of London runs buttery smooth. Although I'm not sure because I've only been to Birmingham and Manchester, and yeah, those are super legit. But again, whoa, we're doing everything out of order. No, let's talk about it. Yes, Winter London Film and Comic Con has now moved to Brighton. So, Christian, thoughts?
Pros, it's actually nearer to me.
Oh yeah, you're in Southampton. So
But is there much difference from New Zealand from like Brighton or London?
To be fair, there's a Brighton on South Island in New Zealand, so. But yeah, like I've seen loads of people complain about it, but in theory, it's only an hour and 20 minutes away from London. Like if you're in people said I've seen lots of Londoners complain about it, and it's like it's an hour and 20 minutes away on the train. How's that much of an issue? But like I've been to the hotel that it's been at. I've been at the hotel where they're holding it for Brighton. It's a good sized hotel. Like
you rate it then?
Yeah, I've been there for tattoo conventions, and it's really
tattoo conventions. Wow, you could dedicate a whole convention to tattoos.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's two. Like there was two when last tattoo convention I went there. It was over 2 floors, and then it had another massive hall down the corridor that you could go, and also there was a restaurant where they had food, and they basically served hotel food in the restaurant, and you could pay for it. It was quite cheap as well. Like you could get like a lunch for like £6, cooked lunch. So, but yeah, the floor size is over 2 floors, and they're quite big, like balcony-esque, like Olympia has. So but it's actually much more open space on the second floor than it is like Olympia.
All right,
and it's air conditioned, so that actually is you're not going to die, because obviously when you have them tattoos, it's best to be in a nice air conditioned room.
Okay, so size comparison, what would you say it was like the equivalent of? Would you say it's like, because I've been to Cardiff, would you say it's a similar size to the Motorpoint Arena or smaller?
The rooms that they have at Motorpoint, probably about the same as the hotel, maybe a bit bigger at the hotel, because they don't use the whole facility at Motorpoint, which I find frustrating.
They did it? Interesting. Okay.
Do you every time I've been to Cardiff, I always run around on when you're in the cosplay zone. Just walk round the top floor, and you'll find 3-4 massive rooms that they don't use, and it's like, why is the cosplay zone just shoved on one tiny section? And then the artists, they shoved the artists up there with us this year, and it was just like, this is the most crowded area ever.
Oh, did they do that? Oh, did I do that again in March? Because I remember they did that obviously in when I went with you and
Yeah, November they had the artists up there, and then they did it again for March this year. But last March, the whole floor was dedicated to cosplay, and then this year in November they just basically put all the artists up there, which was a stupid move in my opinion. There's other rooms where they could have had the artists, or they keep sticking that cosplay zone in the stupidest area in Cardiff because that roof is not tall enough. Do you remember? Oh, you went. Do you remember the Oh, what's his face? The Space Marine knows it.
Oh
Olympia.
yeah, Exeter.
Exeter cosplay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was at Cardiff in
March.
No! His helmet was touching the roof, and it's like.
To be fair, Space Marines have trouble everywhere. He had trouble in the lift in Manchester, didn't he?
Yeah. Actually, sorry.
But yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to having it on Brighton, even though it's going to be winter on Brighton seafront. It's going to be a bit windy, going to be a bit choppy, maybe a bit rainy. It's November. We could actually have a sunny one. Last year's winter LFCC was like October, and it was like 25 degrees because I was boiling.
Yeah, it was a bit of it. Well, you were wearing Renly last year, weren't you? Though.
Yeah.
So that adds about an extra 10 degrees anyway.
We're being stabbed by a fire demon.
No, I didn't die last year. Died this year though. Got a photo to prove it.
Actually, hold up. Has anyone actually done a shadow assassin in Game of Thrones yet?
There actually is a Renly cosplayer in America who did. He made a shadow puppet that was attached to his back with a knife going through his chest. It's actually pretty good. Just search up Renly. Just search Renly cosplayer on Google.
Oh, I'm gonna search that.
It's like in the first few. Weird thing is I'm in there now, and it's like, why am I in there?
Because you kissed Figgy Bob, so yeah.
Yeah. We don't talk about that anymore.
Sweet.
An interesting shade of red you've turned.
Okay.
Wow.
Actually, hold up. Sorry. And we're back because that swirling thing was really getting on my nerves, and I can see the YouTube comments, even though I haven't actually got one of any of my contacts saying, "Why is it going swirly?" Well, happy now. But anyway, getting back to the original for it, I think, obviously, if you live down in the south, all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't have to travel to London. I could just turn up. But for all those that, as you know, booked tickets, booked hotels, messy.
Okay, well, shall we just say for the ticket part of it, Showmaster's already said they'll just do a straight refund, no problems. So don't need to worry about that. Booking hotels is a bigger deal, and hopefully people can sort that out with the hotel in question, but that's between them and the hotel. I think I've got a pretty good idea what's happened here, to be honest. Basically, since Earls Court's been knocked down to build flats for multi-millionaires, there is a real lack of con space in London, or spaces for people to hold cons. That's why, and it's not just Comic-Cons here, there are tons of events which want to get the sort of floor space, lots of big corporate events, tons and tons of them through the year, and everyone wants to do it in London because that's a big draw. That's where, for example, Showmasters gets the big stars to go to. You know what I mean? So London is the big deal. And unfortunately, there are now only 2 really decent-sized locations, which is the XL, which is only MCN, plus on a sort of, how shall I put it, technicality LSCC.
Yes.
But I imagine the XL is booked up years and years and years in advance, so I can't imagine Showmasters would ever get in there. And Olympia, who get to pick and choose who they want, and frankly, they're much more happy to go for the big corporate things rather than the craziness you get with cosplay, especially with the Showmasters events when they've got big stars there and huge numbers of people just suddenly show up without tickets.
Yeah, when you have lines literally going around the block that they're lapping the whole building. Yes.
Yeah, you remember, it was at Earl's Court, do you remember Stan Lee Day?
I will never forget that, yes.
Yeah, 50% of that crowd didn't have tickets. They saw in the Evening Standard that there would be tickets available on the door, which was a mistake all round, and they just bloody showed up. And, much as it's easy to criticise Showmaster and everything like that, that could have turned really, really nasty. There's lots and lots of incidents where crowds just randomly go off on one or just show up when people are not expecting it, and suddenly you end up with people killed. And, one just quickly comes to mind. At the Love Parade in Germany, there was a really horrible thing.
Wait, did you say Love Parade?
The Love Parade in Germany, yeah. There was a horrible thing. About 25 people died.
Ow.
Because basically the crowd, due to some mix-ups in crowd control and things like that, and just too many people showed up for the area, which was not expected or really planned for. Yeah, about 25 people died. So the fact nobody got hurt at... that one, I think, was a big thing. And I think, actually, they deserve credit for that because, as I said, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people showed up on an incredibly hot day.
That was a bloody hot day, yes.
Yeah, trying to get in.
Sweltering.
It was absolutely searing hot day. People were getting very, very annoyed. They ran out of water and everything like that because way too many people showed up. And I imagine they had to desperately scramble to try and keep the crowds organised, because that could have got very nasty, and thankfully it didn't. But, so, you can see from the point of view of places like, XL or Olympia or NEC, a corporate event is just so much easier to deal with. You've got a pretty good idea about the number of people who are going to be showing up and what sort of things they're going to be doing and that kind of stuff. And... generally speaking, I don't think they make that much money, these places off Comic-Cons, or I imagine they make a flat rate depending on whoever's in the bloody building. So I don't think, I think just in this case of Olympia, they probably came to the conclusion, you know what, this is a hell of a lot of hassle and a hell of a lot of risk for not very much reward on our part, and having all these Deadpools around, sort of tossing their pelvises around is going to piss off our corporate clients in other business, in other halls in Olympia. So you know what? Actually, Showmasters, not this time. Thank you very much.
According to Jess's, because I was hoping Jess would come on the show, they have not necessarily lost the entire venue. They've only just lost it for this particular time. For
okay, yeah, absolutely. They might get it back in 2016. I think the issue is going to be, though, as I said at the start of my rant, is there, since Earl's Court has gone, there is a huge lack of now space to actually hold these things. I mean, I say, Hyper Japan, they did the O2, the Dome, which didn't really work. They're doing Tobacco Docks for the Christmas market, which is a much, much smaller venue, much lower capacity.
Oh, dear.
You've got Crystal Palace, which is, again, small venue, low capacity. Alexandra Palace, small venue, low capacity. You haven't got any of the Wembley Conference Centres anymore, anything like that. So you've really got only two big venues you can use in London, and one of them is closed to Showmasters.
Oh yes,
and everybody else for that matter.
That exclusivity contract. Ooh, it's like the console wars, isn't it?
I can't imagine why they can't do something with the Olympic Park, but that's another matter.
Oh, funny you should mention that, because about this time last year, there is actually I don't know, it definitely is not big enough to hold a Comic-Con, but the outdoor park area, pitch up a couple of marquees and tents. You could easily do an outdoor sort of tournament. Well, not tournament. I mean, why am I saying? I'm sorry, it's stuck in my brains. A sort of a giant event, because they had one for a couple of YouTube gamers. It was a COD sort of championship sort of thingy bob. I forgot what it was called now.
Yeah. Marquees don't really work in the autumn. If you get a rainy, windy day, that's just going to go horribly wrong. But Sorry,
Oh,
Karen.
go on, Christian.
No,
Sorry.
you go first, Dave.
No, but I think what the point I'm vaguely trying to get to is, yeah, this is just business again. I'm sorry for the people who've lost hotel rooms. I'm actually quite sorry for showmasters because I don't think it's particularly their fault. But it's just business. There is not enough floor space to hold all the Comic-Cons people want to in London anymore due to Boris deciding actually he'd like to give this area of land to his already multi-millionaire buddies to make flats for other multi-millionaires.
Sorry.
It's true though.
Well, it is.
No, that's system.
Christian?
Yeah, I've seen, like, I've also checked the event because after I saw the people moan, I did check the Olympia website, and they've got two different cons on that, two different events on that week, and one of them is like 5 days long.
5 days long? What the hell?
I can't remember what it was, but it was one of these events lasts for 5 days, and it would sink into the time LFCC would be on, so it would have meant we would have got like one and a bit hall. Like we would have got the first hall, like we did, like the hall where you come in for the entrance, and then like the second level floor where all the dealers were and the sci-fi cam was. That was essentially what it was going to be. So it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a national.
It wouldn't have worked.
The national
It's
what?
the-
Game?
Yeah, that.
One of them's the National Wedding Show, which is, I think, firstly a very, very big corporate event for them. It's a very, very big deal, and also it's a much more how shall I put it, understandable in terms of, how many people are going to be showing up, what the crowd's going to be doing. You know what I mean? I'm sure there might be a Deadpool wedding bride and groom, but probably not terribly many.
What you're saying, Dave, is because obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but weddings, they're bloody expensive, innit? So you'd have a smaller crowd, but they'd be spending considerably more money, like 10 times more than your average con goer that's probably there for like their $20, sort of.
Quite much.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
well not just that though, but it wouldn't
Say
just
it, Christian. Say your feelings.
But it wouldn't. It's not just the people who are going to get married, but it's also the industry. That's the big industry get together. So that's a big networking time for all the people who do the different bits of wedding, or the big wedding caterers to, do their stuff.
Like I said, that's a lot of coin.
You know what I mean? It's a really, really big deal. And having a load of drunken, what's the phrase you use?
Reprobate.
Weebos?
Yeah, lift.
God.
Having all those running around the streets doing their Fight Club stuff does not make a good atmosphere for what they're trying to look for. In the sense of Olympia, and I can completely understand it, it's nothing
Right.
personal against, any Comic-Cons or anything like that. It's just business. You know what I mean? They have got these people, they probably had them for many years coming in, and they don't want this completely chaotic element, quite frankly.
Did you know what? I just remembered something. I'm pretty sure it was last winter. Was it winter or was it summer? I can't remember. There was actually a wedding conference that was going on at the same time as London Film Comic Con. I can't remember if it was summer or winter.
Probably.
Because I went to the wrong hall. I thought, I went to Earl's Court too, and it was like, wait a minute, there's all these other people, like civilians, all walking around, and it was like, it was Earl's Court 1. Oh.
I mean, you get that at the MCN all the time. I mean, were you there when I gate crashed
Hilarious.
I gate crashed the teachers' conference at the NEC and went on stage and started teaching a Supervillain 101 course.
Oh my
As a
god!
penguin, I should say.
Oh my god! I'd pay good money for some videos, but obviously they don't exist.
It was like the Friday at MTM this year was the Christian convention on the left hand side, and we're all walking in, and you just see these. We just thought they were people dressed up as priests and like nuns. It's actually a Christian convention, and they're like talking about how to build churches, and I was like, oh, there's actually a Christian convention on that. And like they must have thought we were weirdos because I'm walking down. I'm walking down, and I've got a real bow and arrow on my back. I've got a real bow and real arrows, and I'm like, I was going to walk this way.
And I so want to get the Ryuk costume finished just to go up to Christians at that event.
Actually, hold up. There was another overlap. I can't remember if it was LFCC or LFCC or MCM where somebody was bloody running exams and they told us to be quiet. I'm thinking to myself, how the F are you going to tell a convention goers to be quiet? Are you mad?
To be fair, that wouldn't be the XL. I wouldn't have thought. Or might be. Actually.
It was no. It was at the XL. No, it was at the XL. I can't remember.
If it was at the XL, then oops. But they don't have that now. Now they get all the NCN get all the XL.
No,
and it works very well in that. Well, it works as well as it could possibly work, given it's the biggest venue.
Okay, but I distinctly remember it was on it was only on a Friday, of course, because obviously that was still a weekday. But obviously Saturday and Sunday, yes, it was proper given us. But it was like, we were told, it was at the west entrance, like, shh, exam taking place. I'm thinking, what are you kidding me? This is a convention. We're supposed to have fun. Sometimes be just a tiny bit loud and obnoxious. You're telling us to be quiet. Do we look like we're 13 years old?
I can't believe there wasn't the invasion of the Deadpools to the exam hall.
Oh God, I would. That's the only time I would approve of Deadpools.
The movie trailers are looking pretty good. I'm not sure whether
I'm not gonna lie. That movie does.
The trailers look fun.
I'm not gonna lie. That movie does actually look quite godlike.
Well, it's you do kind of know what you're getting with the Marvel movie, don't you? To be honest, but anyway.
One by Fox though. Yeah. Let's just say
Marvel have their hands on that particular one. As I say, whether they can keep it up for the whole movie without being annoying, who knows? But the trailers look good.
Okay. Wow. I guess we're at the end of the podcast. So I guess we should just wrap it up then. So final thoughts before I do my last hit piece, since it was presented to us. Christian, Winter London Film Comic Con. Final thoughts.
I'm actually looking forward to it because it's down the road. It's in Brighton. I love Brighton as it is. I do feel sorry for everyone that didn't. Well,
they're going to lose a lot of money, but it's great for you, though.
Yeah, because I get to stay in Brighton because I've got friends there. So, but I know people have lost money, but in future, I don't ever book my hotel. I only book my hotel. I reserve it, and use Booking.com because you don't have to pay anything until you get there, and you save yourself a lot of money. And it helps when things like this help. And it also does state in the terms and condition the venue can change, the dates can change. So
they cover their asses well, Showmaster, I see.
But as I said, they are refunding tickets, so let's not. Yeah.
But what was the other thing? They could have used one of the sports stadiums in London. Look at Milton Keynes convention. They've had it at Milton Keynes Stadium for the last 5-6 years, and that con's always been successful. They got rid of it now. This last one was this year, which was stupid. But they could have used. There's so many big stadiums in London now. Arsenal Stadium, Chelsea Stadium. You got Wembley Stadium. They all have massive conference halls. And it's like they could have procured one of them for that weekend. But
they're not massive though. That's the thing. They're sort of mid-sized. There was only 3 massive conference halls in London. Well, actually 2.5, which is XL, Earls Court, and Olympia. In terms of actual floor space or everything like that, there's nothing even close to those 3. And Olympia is really the small one.
Yeah, it's just I don't see. And I don't know how they're going to keep going with London Film because that's what happened to Eurogamer. It was in London. It was called last year, and now it's at NEC this year.
I've got no problem with that. I love that place.
Yeah, NEC is a lovely venue, and I don't understand.
I'm sure Eurogamer's actually going to be really good. I won't be there, but I'm sure it's going to rock it.
Eurogamer's usually awesome, but I don't understand why they can't move LFCC to the NEC? Because I know NEC don't have specific contracts with anyone.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're probably thinking.
I know they
about
take out
it.
on MCM, but like they don't have specific contracts like XL does.
I'm sure they're probably thinking about it, but this is a business matter for Showmasters, and the big draw for the London cons for Showmasters is they get the really, really big stars. You know, Michael J. Fox, Stanley, Clary Fisher, people like that.
Yeah.
They get the really, really big stars. Are they going to want to be going to Birmingham?
Well, this is on the outside of Birmingham.
That's true.
you know what I mean. You've got, you know what I mean. There is a kudos to doing being in London, which there. Sorry to everyone in Birmingham, there really isn't.
What
Birmingham's
are
like a
you?
shithole.
Are you? Watch your mouth. Are you questioning the validity of the Bull Ring, a wonderful masterpiece of modern engineering, and of course the glorious that is New Street Station.
New Street Station is the most confusing place ever.
New Street Station is basically like the zombie Holocaust would look like. Lost souls, full of torment, wandering around in pain, just trying to find a way to make it stop.
Next train to Wolverhampton.
Oh no, seriously, I've never in my lifetime, since or before, I've never met a more convoluted place in my life than New Street Station.
It was built in the 60s. Everyone was on a lot of drugs.
I think they still are, because it's like they've been renovating that station for like 2 years now. Because I remember, oh yeah, we're doing renovations way back in 2012, and it's like I'm in the station. It's like they're still renovating it. It's like, oh my god.
They renovated it back when I was in college. Now it was like 10 years ago. So
Oh, bloody hell.
yeah, that's saying something.
Oh.
But yeah, I think it's going to be actually a good. I actually think it's going to be quite nice to be in Brighton, because obviously they're doing another. Well, they're making Brighton another one of their cons for next year permanently.
Okay.
So it'd be nice to see what's like. I know it's going to be quiet. Well, it's probably going to be quiet this winter, seeing as no one wants to go. But like, it is nice because the South Coast has had no cons. London's usually the only one that's like closest to us, but now like then we got Bournemouth and now we got Brighton, so it's like I'm in the middle between both. So it's like, because obviously the northern lot of like Manchester.
I've got quite a lot of cons up north actually, and they're pretty good.
there
ones.
is.
Telford, Manchester, Newcastle,
Fort Bubble. Yep, everyone keeps saying good thing about Fort Bubbles. I might have to check that out.
Glasgow,
Leeds,
City,
York, yeah, absolutely.
Birmingham MCM, Alcons and Leicester, right?
Yep.
I don't really
Yeah.
think Birmingham and Telford counts. That's more the Midlands.
Okay, no. The north
Yes.
starts at Watford. We're all Londoners here. The north starts
Oh wait,
at
wait.
Watford.
Is this like bloody Game of Thrones? It's like we're not
North, South,
Southerners.
Clyde.
We're not Southerners. I'm sorry. Am I the only one that just gets that joke all the time? It's like,
Winter is
Yeah, no.
coming.
But it's going to be nice for the South Coast to actually have two events that will actually be a continuous thing now, because we don't have to travel that far. But and then like if there's a Brighton one in the summer, like Brighton summer's like one of the most beautiful times of the year, and you get beach shoots.
in Brighton.
The beach is amazing in Brighton.
Yes, until your feet stings with all those bloody shingles.
He's never happy, this man, is he?
I'm sorry. It's like our beaches, apart from Margate and Ramsgate. Margate, yeah, just Margate, and the Isle of Wight. And the Isle of Wight, yeah, the Isle of Wight. Yeah, was it Sandown? Oh god, I'm gonna go back to the Isle of Wight. I missed that bloody sandy beaches.
But you missed the island of inbreds.
Well, yeah, not wrong. And I remember Black Gang Chine with the stupid little fake pirate and the crooked house. Is that still around? I need to play
More
that
than
video.
likely, they all have web feet over there.
Okay, or was it falling into the sea by now? Because you know, erosion is a proper thing, isn't it?
Half the needle
Right.
we got.
Can we back away from all the stereotyping now?
Well, this show was a bit rad.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what? No, we got to wrap this up. So,
Can I just do a very quick final thought there?
yeah, sure.
Okay, it's one thing I think the genuine point is with what we've been seeing this week is I think a lot of con organisers need to get a bit more organised and a bit more professional about things, to be perfectly honest.
Yes.
Danny, we're going to be going to Dragon Con in Atlanta. At least in my experience for the past 2 years, this year might be a shambles, but I don't think it will be. You'll see it is night and day in terms of how well organised things are. You know what I mean? Yes, there's big crowds. Yes, there's big queues at times. Yes, it can be slow to get things. But, getting a ticket, for example, getting your pass, that took me less than 5 minutes last year. You know what I mean?
I will get my stopwatch. Out. I will time this. And matter of fact, we're still debating about shooting, a quick cosplay podcast live because I don't have much. I think I'll buy another memory card. Just to record a podcast live. Yeah, you, me, Jake, some of the American lads, and we'll hopefully get the King of the North on, which we're going to do a little puff segment after this. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, just in general. As I said, you'll see it is night and day in terms of organisation. There's tons and tons of help booths around with really helpful volunteers. If you've got a question they can't answer there and then, they will phone up the control room, where there's a specialist team to provide the answers to it, all that kind of stuff. The competitions are really brilliantly organised. You get special things attached to your pass, which lets you into certain areas, and you get priority getting through to certain areas if you're going to be appearing on stage. Everything is just so much better organised, in my opinion, and I really think that if Jess was there, I'd say you should come to Dragon Con as a research trip, get Showmasters to pay. Because
Showmasters pay?
Worth a try, but in general, just we are, in terms of con organisation, I think we are a long way behind.
Everyone else,
certainly the USA. But I mean, look at Japan Expo in Paris. Yeah. I have heard no complaints about the organisation and that. Never personally.
And apparently, it's bigger.
Yeah, 250,000 people.
Holy
absolutely
shit.
No problem.
Bloody hell! Oh God.
We are
Sorry.
And I actually do think, despite what's gone on this week, we are getting better at this. I think MCM events are certainly getting better organised.
Disturbingly enough, I'd have to agree. It's almost like night and day because everyone went to LFCC because it was a great alternative to MCM. But now it's like, wow, it's sort of. Would I say it's reversed? Then actually, you know what? Come on,
it reversed a lot this year. Yeah. MCM in May was like you were in the door within like seconds.
Yeah.
And LSUC, you're in a queue for like half an hour.
But also, MCM Autumn last year, I thought was a lot better. Summer there was big problems. They really worked through their things, and MCM Autumn worked well. LSCC, I think, is superbly organised all the way through.
Yeah, no, in all fairness, it's a lot smaller.
Yes. We are getting better, but still, compared to the American cons, and I hope that you'll be able to see this when you're out there, Danny.
Okay.
We've got a lot to learn, but hopefully things will improve, and this week is just an aberration.
Okay. And I've got to slam the brakes on because that's the end of our show, and because everyone keeps complaining they're too damn long, which I don't mind, but it's a case of
you shouldn't get me on the show if they're too long. To be honest,
I don't know. I want long shows, but everyone does not like long form combat. Maybe, hopefully, they will become one of us soon. But anyway, all that's left to do is say goodbye to Mr. Dave Collier. Thank you very much, bro.
Goodbye, beautiful people.
And all that's left to do is say goodbye to Mr. Christian from the future.
Goodbye.